Okay. Hi, my name is Shawn Mazzarone. I'm a real estate broker with Brown Harris Stevens, and today I want to walk through two buildings that get compared quite often because of their location, and that's the View at East Coast, which is 4630 Center Boulevard, and the City Lights building, which is 4-74 48th Avenue. Both of these buildings are great places to live. In my opinion, I'd recommend both of them, but they are very different in the way that they're laid out. So today I want to take a look at the units themselves that we're going to be comparing quickly, and then I want to dig deeper into the finances because the difference in the financial structure is going to apply not just to these units, but to all units that you can compare at this building. So first, we're going to go with Unit 402, which is currently on the market for $1.648 at the View. And I'm going to run through some pictures here so you can get a feel for it. It does have west-facing views as well as north. This unit is over 1,100 square feet. It's 1,160, so it's going to be the larger of the two. And you can see this kitchen here is very typical of this building. That is the way that it was built in 2009. So it's also the newer of the two buildings. You can see some of the view there. I didn't mean to go so quickly. So you can see some of that west-facing view that we value so much here in Long Island City. Here's a shot of the lobby. This pool is actually located at the Rock Rose building. The amenities for this building are mostly across the street, some of the larger amenities. There's also no parking attached to the building, so just worth keeping in mind. Okay, so next I want to take, again, this is the Rock Rose building, the amenities that they've used here. So next we'll take a look at the City Lights building. Now the City Lights building is really well known because anybody who is exploring Long Island City real estate looks and they see these really inexpensive priced units. What they normally come to find is that the maintenance is quite expensive. So we're using Unit 33A, which is only $755,000. We're going to take a look at this deeper. The maintenance is over $3,500. How these compare to each other, that's exactly what we're going to get into. But before that, I want to take a look at the unit. It's facing south. It's facing west. It has incredible views. Now, this unit has been renovated. This building was built in 1996. So this is not the way that it looked in 1996. So most of this has been done within the last couple years. All right, now that we're familiar with the units, what I want to do is break down the pricing. So as I said before, the City Lights building is going to be $755. That's your purchase price. So that's the ask right now. And the ask for the View number 402 is $1.648. So right off the bat, these are going to be very, very different in price point, right? Because we're looking at $893 more, $893,000 more for the View. And what that translates into as far as down payment is $151,000 down for City Lights and $329,000 down for the View. So you'll notice here in my breakdown notes, I've done the math for us. It's $178,000, and that's if we stay at 20% to 20%. Now, the View requires a 20% down payment, while the City Lights building will allow you to go as low as 10. So that would be $75,500. So if that was the case, you could actually save as much as $253 if you were to choose the City Lights building over the View. So a definite advantage for the City Lights building in regards to the down payment. I would say that's probably its biggest advantage. You're able to get in with so much less money, so much less of a financial commitment, or if you're transitioning from renting to owning, I think it'll allow you to get in sooner into the real estate market, which right now is really advantageous. As far as closing costs go, because the City Lights really functions like a co-op, while the View is a condo, you have completely different closing cost structures. So the big cost at the City Lights building, which is going to come to $12,000 total for closing, is you owe 2 months of maintenance there. So you have that, and you have your attorney fees and some other small fees, and we come to about $12,000. At the View, because it's a condo, there is larger closing costs, and you would pay an estimated 3.5% is the number that I used here. This is going to vary depending on the terms of your loan. Uh, the big thing that you have to consider is because this is a larger purchase, you will have to pay mansion tax on this. So that's been factored in as that extra 1% of the purchase price that goes along. That's the mansion tax. So you do get to avoid that at the City Lights building. When we look at our all-in for the total amount down, you're looking at, and this is at 20% to 20%, you're looking at 163 to 386. So you're going to spend $223,000 more at the View just to get in when all is said and done. And again, these are all estimates. Now, once we go to your monthly mortgage, the City Lights building, you're at $28.84, and the View, you're at $62.94. So you're going to be paying a significant amount more on your mortgage for the View. You're looking at $34.10 more. So we kind of knew that going in because the mortgage is $893,000 more to begin with. So we factored that in. Here's where the City Lights building has its world famous problem: is the monthly maintenance fee, the cost to carry, which does include common charges and your taxes, is $35.18 for this particular unit. So it is expensive, and that is part of what is driving the price to below $800,000 for a 2-bedroom. While the View is $1,010. Now, this is including an abatement. We're going to talk about that shortly. But before we get to that, I'd like to point out that it's $2,500 more a month to carry as of 2020 for the City Lights building. So when you factor everything together, you're still going to pay less, even though we have that high maintenance fee over at the City Lights building. So you're looking at $6,400 to $7,300. So you're looking at about $900 more a month to purchase at the View. Now, both of these buildings are phasing out of abatements. The phase out for the View hasn't yet begun, but it's going to be up in 2027. So what I've done for us to lay it out is let's start with the City Lights building. That's going to go up 7% this upcoming year and 7% the following year. So once the abatement is phased out totally, we're going to be at $4,027. That's just your cost to carry. That's your common charges and taxes. The View, which again, 2027, it's going to be up with the abatement. And I've estimated about $1 a square foot. Let me get us back on there. I've estimated about $1 a square foot, and that's going to bring us to $22.70. So once we factor in by 2028, once both abatements are up, we're looking at $69.11 for the City Lights building versus $85.64 for the View. So the gap is actually going to become larger as both buildings phase out of their tax abatement. You're looking at $16.50 more for the View on a monthly basis. Like I said, both buildings are great places to live. I live in Long Island City waterfront myself, so location is absolutely fantastic. The reason I wanted to create this video is to give a full breakdown so you can take a look at these numbers and you can decide. Now, the View is a newer building. This unit is slightly larger. They're both 2-bed, 2-bath, but this unit is larger. To help people decide, is the larger down payment and the higher monthly, is it worth it to them? Does that make sense from an investment standpoint to have the advantages that go along with a condo? There's different rules that go along with that. It's easier to sublet. So there are advantages there, but I wanted to break everything down, and you can decide for yourself if it's worth it. But I think the City Lights has this reputation because of its high maintenance that it's not a great value. But when you look closer, I do feel like the value is there, and perhaps even the market has overcorrected itself for the City Lights building, and that's why the price is almost out of whack. It's so low right now. But I urge you to consider these numbers, and if you have any questions at all about buying or selling in Long Island City, call me, Shawn Mazzarone, at 631-456-1680.